All right, guys, just try to envision this. It's me, Vino, on a dance floor. Thousands of people in the nightclub. We're talking about the 90s. We're talking about big warehouse nightclubs like Exit and the Sound Factory and the Tunnel. And there I am in the middle of the dance floor, shaking these hips back and forth, bippity bopping and hooping and hopping. Man, I was the man. That's right. Tony Manero, the Puerto Rican version of Tony Manero in the 90s. New York City nightclubs, man, that was me. That was my scene. Believe it or not, this guy here, these hips did not lie. This mouth doesn't lie, nor does these hips, my friends. That's right. I was so big into the nightclub scene back in the 90s and the early 2000s. And some of the things I remember the most about that era was the music and the fashion and, of course, the cocktails. Now, some of the more popular cocktails of the 90s were things like the apple martinis and Cosmos and also cranberry vodka. And then this cocktail we're making today, the Midori Sour. That's right, folks. We're going to make two versions of the Midori Sour, though. We're going to make a nightclub version and we're going to make the improved version. So make sure you stick around because we are literally going to boogie down.
I will not apologize again for the Midori Sour!
Who drinks Midori Sour?
Everyone drinks Midori Sour!
No, they don't!
It's a melon liqueur!
I would never drink
It's an American classic with Asian influence!
All right, guys, like I said, we are going to make two versions of the classic nightclub cocktail, the Midori Sour, and just saying the name just makes me want to shake and dance and hoop and forget about it. I'm too old for it. My hip already hurts just doing those gyrations. But there's nothing I love more than dancing and music. And so, excuse me if I'm a little excited about this episode. But anyway, folks, listen. So let's talk about the Midori Sour, okay? Midori Sour uses the base spirit, surprisingly called Midori. Now, Midori is a melon-based liqueur using Japanese melons, and it came over to the U.S. in the late 1970s. I think specifically 1978. And it became an instant hit in the nightclub scene. I mean, like this, immediately. And I think it has a lot to do with the beautiful color, and it's like this beautiful bright green. And then it was also very sweet and stuff like that. And the cocktail that made it really popular was the Midori Sour. Now, the interesting thing about it, though, is that the nightclub version of Midori Sour is nothing like the traditional whiskey sours or gin sour or anything like that. It's made in a it's built very differently, you know. I got my cheat sheet here. Let's actually look at what's in the sauce, right? Now, the classic nightclub Midori Sour uses 1.5 ounces of Midori, 1 ounce of vodka, 1/2 ounce of lemon juice, 1/2 ounce of lime juice, and then it's served in a highball and topped off with some club soda. So that is not what you would consider your traditional sour, okay? So what I'm gonna be doing is I'm gonna be making something called the improved sour, Midori Sour, and that's gonna use 1.5 ounces of Midori, 1 ounce of Japanese whiskey, 1 ounce of lime juice, an egg white, and we're gonna shake it all up and put it into a Nicanora, and we're gonna give them a taste side by side, see how they do. Now, I haven't had a traditional Midori Sour in probably 10, 15 years. I mean, the last time these hips moved like the way they just did probably was the last time I had one. So I'm interested to see. I do remember them being like very refreshing cocktails and stuff like that. So I'm excited to try them again. All right, guys. Anyway, folks, enough of the chatting. Let's go ahead and make it. All right. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna do 1.5 ounces. We're gonna do the classic version first, right? The first thing we're gonna do is 1.5 ounces of Midori Sour. All righty. Then we're gonna do 1 ounce of vodka. Then we're gonna do 1/2 ounce of lemon juice. Okay. 1/2 ounce of lime juice. All righty. And then we're gonna give that a nice shake with some, first we gotta put ice in there. Then we're gonna give that a nice shake. All right. For about 10 seconds. Then we'll get our highball ready for some pouring. All right, so we gave that a nice shake, and so what we're gonna do now is put some ice into our highball glass here. All right. Just the smell of the Midori smells great. I mean, it's a very nice flavor, a nice smell. All right, so there's that beautiful green color I was telling you guys about that just made it an instant hit back in the days. I mean, I just remember walking through nightclubs or sitting at the bar or whatever, you know, and just seeing, you know, everybody and their mother asking for Midori Sour, especially the ladies. The ladies were really big into it, all right, guys? So we're gonna top this off with some club soda. Alrighty. And then we are going to put a little straw in this bad boy. And there you have it, folks. The classic Midori Sour, all right? I'm gonna go ahead and make the other one, and then we'll try them side by side and see how it tastes, all right? All right, guys, so now we're going to make our improved Midori Sour. You know, I forgot to actually put my garnish here on this bad boy. There we go. On the clock. Oh, now that's a pert mouth. Ain't you? Look how pretty that thing looks. All right. Anyway, so let's go ahead and start off with an ounce and a half, once again, of Midori Sour. All right. Now, something that's missing from this version of a sour that you normally see is simple syrup. And the reason I'm not using any is because Midori is already very sweet, so I'm not going to add any. So then we're going to do an ounce of the Japanese whiskey, which is very, you know, it's very peaty, so you do get some of those smoky notes, which I think will go good with the melon flavors. All right, then we're going to do an ounce of lime juice. All right. Ooh, just enough. All right. And then I'm going to add my egg whites. And first thing I'm gonna do is give it a dry shake, right? And then we're gonna go ahead now and add some ice to the shaker. And give it one more quick shake, just to give it some dilution and chill the product. All right, so I think we've given that a nice sturdy shake, all right? And we're gonna go ahead and pour our, now I'm gonna double strain this because you know Vino doesn't really care for ice chips in his iceless cocktails. So we're gonna go ahead and just give this a nice double strain. See, once again, you've got the nice, beautiful color, except this time it's a little, obviously because of the foam, it has more of a creamy texture to it, but it's still very, very, very pretty. So there we have it, folks, our classic Nightclub whiskey sour and our improved whiskey sour. So we'll come right back and give it a taste. All right, folks, so like I said, we're going to give both of these bad boys a sippy sip and let's see how they taste, all right? So I'm gonna start off with the classic version here because this is the one I haven't had in so long and I do have some fond memories of. Let's see if memory serves me correct. Yep, you know what? My palate has obviously changed over the last, I don't know, 15 years probably since I've had this last. I honestly think it's been that long. While I still think it's a nice cocktail, it's very pleasant, it's very refreshing. I could see why it was a big hit in the nightclubs outside of just the look. Because if you're on the dance floor sweating your ass off from dancing all night long, this is actually quite the refreshing cocktail. And it's not very strong. It doesn't have much of a bite. It's got a very Jolly Rancher style a flavor profile. You know, I can see where the appeal for this is. It's fine. Anyway, guys, let's go ahead and try now the improved version of the Midori Sour. Cheers. Oh, wow. Wow. That's nice. See, that's nice. It's not too sweet. The whiskey really kind of brings back the sweetness, and the lime juice as well. Really kind of, you know, kicks it back. A little bit of that smokiness, that peatiness that you get from the Japanese whiskey really helps to kind of like, you know, it just kind of balances everything. Kind of gives it more of a mouthful too with the egg white too. This is delicious. This is actually quite nice. This is. You know, for what they both are, I think they're both delicious. I think they're both good ways of using your Midori. If you have any, if you've always been interested in trying Midori, I think these are both two great cocktails for you guys to try, right? So next time you're in a nightclub and you see someone ordering a Midori Sour, maybe it's me. No, seriously, guys, if you like this video, please press like, please subscribe, and please share with your family and friends. And remember, folks, when life gives you lemons, make yourself a cocktail. Cheers.